still telling me that I'm not ready. What do I need? 16. 16 gym badges. I have 8 from Johto. Where do I get the others? Kanto. What?
I can't believe I have to take a boat to get to a region I've already been to, but I'll do what I gotta do for my HQ.
Oh, I'm so seasick. I hate boats.
Vermilion City, I've been here.
All right, Lieutenant Surge, I'll beat you again, along with all the other Kanto gym leaders. Gargoyle should have no problem sweeping through. That's 9. Sabrina, you're next. Sabrina's done. And that's 10 badges. Erica, you should be easy to defeat. And that's 11. Hello, mister. Your water Pokemon's wetness cannot defeat the sky. And that's 12. Wait, I just realized. Why haven't I evolved Murkrow and Gligar yet? Okay, to get a Dusk Stone, I have to win the bug catching contest, or have all the badges to get into Cerulean Cave? Okay, well, what about the Razor Fang? I have to buy it at the Battle Frontier? For 48 battle points? I don't have time for this. Wait, what am I worried about? I'm an evil team leader. I can just have a grunt steal them for me. And I know just the one. Let's see if this works. Ha-ha! It is I, Wait, what the? Welcome back, Feeble Grunt. I would like you to steal a Dusk Stone and a Razor Fang for me. Why would I do that for you? I'll pay you. Okay. All right, should be in your bag. How did you? Wow, that was amazing. Yeah, stealing's kind of my whole thing. Impressive. I'll wire you the funds in a bit. Oh yeah, how much will that be? Ta-ta! Wait, I'm not ready to, And now I have Honchkrow and Gliscor. Team Sky is finally fully evolved. Excuse me, sir, I like your green outfit. Would you like to talk about our Lord and Savior, Skydios? Oh, you want to give me something? Oh, I accept it. What's this? The silver wing? This is Lugia's item? And it's a wing? Lugia can fly! You know, for a sky-dwelling Pokemon, this is really giving me ocean vibes, which is not my favorite. But oh, there he is! Come to me, Lugia! Join Team Sky! 1, 2, 3... Yes! Go Team Sky! And now let's get the rest of those badges. I'm taking you down, Brock. I don't like your type specialty. Finish it, Marianis! That's 13. All right, Janine, whoever you are, you were not here last time. And this will absolutely devastate her. And that's 14. All right, Blaine, you're going down next. Boom! That's 15. The final one, Blue. You look a lot like Landon. With this Aeroblast, yes! And Team Sky has 16 gym badges. We'll make arrangements so that I can go to Mount Silver. You're the head of security? And now, finally, thank you. Here it is, the entrance to Mount Silver. I've done it. Finally, after a grueling climb, 16 gym badges and becoming the champion, I've reached the highest point. Kanto, Johto. This is the perfect place for me to construct the Team Sky. Who the hell are you?
I'm the owner of this house.
I see. So we're going to fight for the summit. Is this what you're going to get for taking on Team Sky? Red, whoever you are? A Pikachu that's level 88? It's a good thing I trained because this is going to be the toughest battle yet. Quickly, I will Earthquake. It's faster, Iron Tail, neutral, and it's just a Pikachu. I think I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, I'm fine. 12 levels lower, which is ridiculous, but it's still enough. Oh, it's a crit! Sweet, way to go, Gargoyle! Oh, Lapras. Did teach Mariana's Thunderbolt, which is super effective, but not stab. And this thing definitely knows an ice move that's gonna hurt. Which does this do? Oh, no. Oh, no! Oh, it's a 2-hit KO. Oh, and there's Hail! Let's see how much Blizzard does to Cardinal. Here it comes. How much does it do against a Pokemon that is not weak to it, but doesn't resist it either? Less, but God. think I can set up a dragon dance and then heal after this. Please survive this. Does hail KO me here? It doesn't. Oh! Okay, Blizzard only has 5 PP, so I think I can stall it out. It stopped going for Blizzard. I think that means I've already stalled out. Can I now do the same thing I did against Lance, where I set up multiple dragon dances? And I'll use as many potions as I need. I'm not trying to win fair. I want the summit. I'll do what I have to. The 6th dragon dance. I'm at +6 attack, +6 speed. Will this be enough to sweep? Yes! Can Cardinal finish the sweep? Snorlax, waterfall. Keep going. Yes, yes, yes! Cardinal, I need you to land this Ice Fang. No! Sleep powder. Oh, that sucks. Okay, I'm full restoring immediately. Don't miss the next Ice Fang. There we go. All right, Venusaur done. Hope this is enough. This thing's tanky. Come on. No! Wait, the hail. If I live this, I'm good. Cardinal lives it. Blastoise is down. One more Pokemon, and it's Charizard. This battle will end the same way the League did, with Cardinal decimating a Charizard. Yes! Get off my mountain! Goodbye! And now the skies of Kanto and Johto are team skies. Now to get to work constructing my new HQ. I have no idea how to build a building.
Poison types have a very special place in my heart, ranging all the way from venomous animals to big piles of goo. These guys are far from garbage. Well, okay, except for my favorite poison type, which is literally a heaping pile of garbage. But a lot of the potential encounters in this run are amazing Pokemon. Let me know your all-time favorite poison type down in the comments below, and we're gonna need good Pokemon since the hardcore Nuzlocke rules mean that any Pokemon that faints can never be used again. Items from the bag are banned, and we can only level up to match the next gym leader's highest level Pokemon. And of course, only catch the first poison type encounter we find in any area. So join me as I attempt to beat a Pokemon Y hardcore Nuzlocke using only poison types. And what worse way to start off the run than my personal least favorite time of the day, getting out of my pajamas.
Huh? A letter for me? What could it be? A love letter?
Excuse me, what now? Either way, our real journey starts when we venture on into the forest and find our first encounter, a Weedle, which I name Mimosa. And soon after its capture, it evolves into a Kakuna, and at level 10, a Beedrill, which is an insanely terrifying creature, and it's also the only poison type we can get before taking on the first gym versus Viola and her bug types. And if you know anything about Beedrill, you might know that the only move we can use against this gym is pretty much Fury Attack. And while that might be totally sufficient to deal with Surskit, Vivillon is a different story. This thing can both raise its defense with Harden and do damage over time to us with Infestation. So knowing it was going to do 5 HP of passive damage every turn, I went for Focus Energy to hope for some miracles. However, my first Fury Attack, my luck fell short and I only got the minimum hits of 2 and no critical hits. After that infuriating display of misfortune, Vivillon goes for Harden, which means that our non-critical hits are going to be doing pitiful damage. But out of my 4 hits, 3 of them end up being critical hits, leaving Vivillon in the red. The next turn, Infestation leaves me at 2 HP, which means the passive damage would take me out, but a critical hit knocks out the Vivillon. A little too close to be the first gym. After attaining our very first gym badge, I encounter a wild Budew, which I capture and name Margarita. After which, we move on to Lumio City.
By the way, did your mom happen to get the letter that I sent her?
Wait, Sycamore's the one hitting on my— Don't you walk away from me!
I am curious what's going on, but we should probably stay out of it.
In an attempt to win me over as a stepfather, Sycamore offers me a Kanto starter, so I of course pick Bulbasaur. Which is pretty cool of him. Okay, fine, this man's the whole package. I name my Bulbasaur Mojito and move past Lumio City to capture myself a Gulpin. I name it Mai Tai, and shortly thereafter, Mojito evolves into Ivysaur, and I capture myself Sangria the Venipede.
Don't try to sleep in the king's bed, it's illegal.
Okay, I've just about had it with these puns. Weezing, would you deal with this guy? I then go ahead and capture Screwdriver the Krogunk and Aviation the Zubat.
Wowzers, I just saw a fish Pokemon hiding behind that rock.
Dude, why are you looking at fish when you can look at the bubbles? Then while getting to the level cap of the next gym, our team gets massively powered up as Venipede evolves into Whirlipede, Budew into Roselia, and Zubat into Golbat. Which means it's finally time for our second gym challenge versus Grant and his rock types. Now, Grant can be a real headache in monotype runs, and Amora's takedown is not something I want to deal with, so I decide to risk the sleep powder and put it to sleep. This means that I can safely set up a sword stance and take out the Amora with a +2 Razor Leaf. However, our troubles are not over yet as Tyrant is next, and I go for a Razor Leaf, which actually gets a crit and does a ton of damage, but the Tyrant lowers my speed with Rock Tomb. It then outspeeds and gets the flinch with Bite, which means I have to switch out of Mojito into Screwdriver. I get hit by a Bite on the switch and then retaliate with a Bulldoze to take out the Tyrant and claim the second gym badge.
Check it out, I never drop the balls.
Buddy, if you want to sound like me, a couple of those balls are gonna have to drop at some point. Moving on, we head to Reflection Cave, where after defeating this unsuspecting couple, Golbat's friendship reaches a high enough level where it evolves into Crobat. Not only that, Sangria evolves into Scolipede, and this thing has gotta have the funniest running animation ever. I mean, just look at him go. Oh my Arceus, why did they ever get rid of the PSS? And listen, skeptics, I hear you saying Scolipede isn't that good, but just to hammer home just how awesome this guy is, I totally just swept through Serena, no problem. Why is he so out of frame, though? Either way, our next big opponent is Karina and her fighting types. But since her Mienfoo does pitiful damage to Sangria, I can set up a couple of sword stances and then immediately swap out into Aviation with Baton Pass. And since this is just the third gym, Crobat is an insane Pokemon to have. With +4, we can easily sweep through Karina's entire team without a problem.
How could it be?
Also, just take a look at how silly she looks in this helmet. Okay, fair point. Helmets are awesome. You should always wear one. Moving on, as if our team wasn't overpowered enough, I encounter a Nidorino as I realize I can get an encounter before Reflection Cave. I immediately slap that thing with a Moonstone and evolve it into what's probably the most powerful Pokemon of the run, Nidoking, which I name Manhattan. Then on my way, I pick up the leftovers and a shiny stone for Roselia, as I skip along in my Skiddo, avoiding every trainer in sight.
Well, if it isn't a traveling trainer, must be terrible walking all over the place like that.
Yeah, walking. That thing that I do all the time. Arriving in Comarine City, it's time to take on Ramos, who I keep calling the most forgettable gym leader, but then again, he is the most memed on the channel. Tell you what he's never been, though, and that's difficult. Crobat just absolutely destroys this man's team with acrobatics.
You can't take things too quickly with...
Shut up, Buttman. Huh, wonder who's dumb enough to leave their power plant pass out in the desert like this. Huh? Where's my power plant pass? And the answer is Team Flare. That's always who's dumb enough. I should have expected as much. Either way, we have to take on the rest of the goons at the power plant.
Losing to you doesn't mean anything. My pride remains unscathed.
Yeah, well, you know, good thing I recognize the universal unscathed pride position. Moving on back to Lumio City, I try my luck at that swimmer matchmaking service.
I'm sorry, you didn't get a match.
I mean, I know I can't swim, but are you kidding me? Are you
There's where I should go, and then there's where the alleys lead.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they lead to anything but trouble, madam. Okay, how did this museum know that I love boats?
Beautiful.
Ah, you've got a good eye to appreciate the battle frontier.
Embarrassing.
You're right, it is pretty embarrassing that it hasn't been back since Gen 4. Ah, and they call this one Miss Univa, I see. Anyway, after a lot of messing around, I made my preparations for the gym, and Krogunk evolved into Toxicroak, and Ivysaur into Venusaur. And while facing Clemont, I realized that I made a pretty big mistake. I only leveled up Manhattan since it's the only Pokemon I thought I'd need to use, but I mixed up Clemont's and Valerie's level caps, which means that I broke one of the sacred rules of the Hardcore Nuzlocke, which we cannot have. But here's the thing, I expect Nidoking would have done the exact same thing at level 37, so I'm gonna do the only appropriate thing and release the king. Now that we don't have the king with us anymore, we need a worthy replacement, so I evolved Gulpin into Swalot. And I wonder why it's called that. Oh, listen, I know what you're thinking right about now. Things have been going way too swimmingly. Nidoking, our first death, and it's not even a proper one? Well, things are about to turn around for the worse. You see, we gotta go up against Serena on Route 14, which is the first fight against her where she has her fully evolved starter. I start the fight out by putting her Meowstic to sleep and destroying it with a couple of steamrollers. But I picked Chespin in the beginning, which means that Serena has a Delphox. Now there's nothing on my team that can take on this Delphox, so I decided to swap out into Crobat, hoping that I could maybe take it out in one shot with acrobatics, but of course that's not the case. And in hindsight, it would have been so much better to sack someone like Beedrill, who can actually take the Mystical Fire here and take out the Delphox with a Pin Missile, because losing Crobat is so detrimental. In the end, the Absol in the back didn't give me any trouble, but that is such a huge loss. But Route 14 isn't all bad news because we do get our next encounter, and this could be one of several. I end up catching myself a Skorupi and evolving it into a Drapion, which I of course named Bloody Mary. This means that we can reach the actual level cap of 42 and face off against the Fairy-type user Valerie. And since I came with a team full of Poison types, you can guess that this Fairy-type user wasn't too happy about it. Anyway, the plan was simple. Set up a few sword stances, double bulldoze the Mawile, and Poison Jab my way to sweet, sweet victory. Valerie never stood a chance, but we of course knew that ever since we started the run. Watch out, Ginger's coming through! As a slightly ginger person myself, I move on to the Lost Hotel and find my next encounter, a Trubbish. And this little bag of trash is very special to me.
I hear your future's secure if you join Team Flare.
Yeah, a future of looking like an idiot, maybe. Anyway, now that we need some better Pokemon on the team, I decide to slap the Shiny Stone on Roselia and evolve it into Roserade. When things look alike, I try to find differences between them. When things look different, I try to find similarities. For example, how many similarities do you think Tynamo and Mothim share with each other? Well, I can't think of much, except for the fact that they both suck.
Those red suits would look dreadful on me, so I didn't join Team Flare.
Finally, someone with a brain. Think, wait a minute, were you gonna join if it did fit? The time has finally come for us to take on the 7th gym leader, Olympia. Now, since she's using psychic types and I'm using poison types, I'm technically giving her a shot at not being the most forgettable gym leader in Kalos as of right now, but you may remember that Drapion is a poison and dark type, a pretty sick typing. And since dark is immune to psychic, she couldn't touch me with anything except for this air slash, so hoping it wouldn't flinch, I went for my 3rd sword stance, which meant I could just sweep through Olympia's entire team. And here I was kind of dreading this fight in case I didn't get a Drapion, but here we are. And in the end, this fight was a piece of cake. I mean, seriously, and I mean this sincerely, if you guys can name a more forgettable gym leader than Olympia in the comments, I dare you. Moving on in the story, however, we have to take on Lysander, and we take him on 3 times in this story, and the first couple times go about like this, so I'm not gonna have to show you guys.
I prefer relaxing breathing exercises to battles.
Yeah, well, in that case, maybe you should have tried on yoga instead of terrorism. I can see that your pride is unscathed, though, so that's nice.
How to download the Battymatch app for Android. Here's how you can download the Battymatch app on your Android mobile. Visit the official Battymatch website, www.battymatch.com. Tap on the Battymatch button in the center to open a list of gaming and other options. Choose Apps Android/iOS option to download the battymatch.apk file on your Android device. Install the file on your Android device and complete the installation process. Stay tuned for more such videos. Do not forget...
Excuse me, what? Now, this fight against Celosia is normally no problem whatsoever, but this time it gave me a real headache. She starts out with Manectric, and I go for Sangria to try and set up a few sword stances and just pass on baton passes to make this as easy as possible, but I get paralyzed the first turn. Then, knowing I can survive 1 non-crit flamethrower, I want to pass my boost, but I get fully paralyzed, so I have to hard switch out into Screwdriver. The flamethrower doesn't do too much on the switch, but the next turn I get immediately paralyzed, and a bulldoze doesn't even do half to this thing. A Thunderbolt hits me real hard, and of course I get fully paralyzed again, so I have to swap Screwdriver out for Margarita. And Rita's pretty much the perfect switch in here, since a Thunderbolt does nothing and it can outspeed and take out the Manectric with a Giga Drain. So now we've got 2 severely compromised team members, I miss a Stun Spore, and Acupressure gets a defense boost. If you didn't know, Acupressure gives you a +2 to a random stat, and it goes for it again and gets +2 attack. I go ahead and swap into Bloody Mary for free because of a lucky paralysis, but after just a few turns, she's left at 3 HP, and I have to swap out again. So I go ahead and swap into Mimosa, who tanks and X's are okay, and I accidentally misclick and hit Sword Stance, not that I would have done any damage whatsoever anyway, and we have to sacrifice Mimosa. But the sacrifice won't be in vain, since we'll be able to get up a Leech Seed before going down into the red with Mojito. I'm then forced to swap out, and I luckily get a free switch into Margarita as the Drapion gets paralyzed. I go for a Giga Drain, which barely does any damage at all, as a Poison Jab gets me down into the red, and I get it down so low before